Hello guys, what's up? This is Javi and today I'm gonna just teach you how you could host the server for Excel. I've been trying to host it for a long time. It took me maybe a couple days to figure out what the problems were, and basically you need to change things here and there, and it can get kind of complicated because you forget something and then it's not gonna work and it's not gonna tell you it's not working. So basically I'm just gonna tell you all the little secrets, and I'm gonna give you all the files you need pretty much ready to go. You will only need to change some passwords and install some programs and you're pretty much ready to go. So let's get started. So basically I'm gonna put you this file on a download link so you can get all of these little files that you're gonna need. Basically you're gonna need Steam CMD. Just put it in the folder you want to put it and execute it once. It's gonna download everything it needs. Then you're gonna have to find it somewhere, and basically it's gonna be where you put it at. So if you look to find it, you're probably not gonna find it. So just make sure you know where you put it. In my case, it's gonna be here in this destination. Basically you execute it once and it's just gonna run and download all the files it needs, right? Once you got that done, basically you're gonna copy this file and then paste it in your Steam CMD. As you can see, I got it already, and basically after you copy and paste it, you're gonna have to change the username, the password, and you're pretty much set. I mean, maybe it may ask you for an authentication code because that PC is not allowed to use Steam or whatever. Just put that code if it asks for it, and then it's gonna start downloading. And maybe it's not gonna start downloading at that time, but it will download the Arma 3 server files. Alright, so once you got the Arma 3 server files downloaded, it's gonna be right here in Steam apps and then common, and you're gonna have your server files. So after this, what you're gonna do is just you get all of these files and you're gonna paste them in your server files. Easy, right? Alright, then you're gonna download Excel mod. I'm not putting the mod in the downloads, but basically to download Excel, it's pretty straightforward. What you need to do is just Google Excel mod. First page, you go and download, and you're gonna download the client files through the HTTP mirror, or you can get Arma 3 launcher and download it a bit quicker maybe. Don't download the server files because I'm providing them for you because they are already fixed to work. Alright guys, so don't download the server files, right? Just download the client files, and just it's gonna be a folder like this one, but instead of Excel server it's gonna say Excel. You put that in the server. Alright, I'm gonna put it right now. Wait a minute, gonna just find it, Excel, and there we go. It's a folder like this. You just copy it and paste it in your folder. Alright, so right now we've been doing pretty easy stuff, like there should be no problem doing this. So basically after you got this done, what we're gonna do is install MySQL. Alright, so basically you're gonna start installing MySQL installer. Alright, you're gonna say yes, yes, I want to download everything, yes, apply the upgrade. It'll take some time. I mean, it's MySQL, has to download a lot of stuff. And now we choose developer default. Okay, it's gonna include all the programs we're gonna need, and it's very simple. You don't need to click anything else, just put developer. Alright, and it's gonna ask you if you want to install this shit. I'm not installing it. Yeah, it's alright. So now it's gonna tell you what's gonna install, so you click on execute and it's gonna start downloading everything you need pretty much, and it's gonna do it all for you. And there we go, we got everything installed now. We're gonna click next. It's gonna configure everything. Alright, and this is where it gets not tricky at all, but we just need to click next pretty much. And now we're gonna set a password. Alright, for this video in the password, I'm gonna put test. All right. You need a strong password for this in case somebody wanted to hack the server or whatever. If they got that password, they're gonna be able to access your SQL, and they can mess everything up pretty much. They can mess with the database, but they can mess with everything. So just don't put test in the password. All right, guys. Put something you're gonna remember. All right. And we're not gonna add any user. We're just gonna use root for this. I mean, we don't have to be that secure, and we don't have to add the privileges and all of that shit. So we're just gonna use root. All right. And now you get some options to install MySQL server as a Windows service. I recommend this, and then start the MySQL server as a system startup. So that way, when you restart your PC, you don't need to find the patch to start MySQL or anything. All right. So it's gonna be standard user account, and now we're gonna click execute, and it's gonna start my SQL server and all this stuff, and we're gonna get a nice notification saying what's going on. So now, yeah, let's put this away. All right. So now, if you right click on this, you will see that my SQL is running. You can stop or restart the server whenever you want. All right, you're free to do it, and I wouldn't restart unless I change something, but you can always restart it. So now we're gonna finish, and we are pretty much done. It's gonna tell us the password, which is test. We're gonna use user root. It's gonna check, yeah, the password is right, and now it's gonna try again. What's going on? Everything runs. Okay, finish. All right. All right. And we're pretty much done. All right, now MySQL Workbench is gonna open, but we're not gonna start yet. All right, we're gonna wait a little bit. All right, now what we can do is install Navicat. Navicat is the program you're gonna use to control your player base, basically to make sure nobody's hacking pretty much. Check all the tables of your players and just pretty much control the server. Someone loses a mohawk and he doesn't know where it is. Well, you can find the coordinates in the database. Basically, it's going to manage all your database, and it's going to be very, very easy to use. Alright, so we got Navicat. Connect it. We're just going to hit trial. Whatever. No, we're not going to check for updates. Alright, so now we're going to start a new connection, and it's gonna ask for the name. We're just gonna put Excel. Then the password for root is gonna be test. In our case, you put your password for root, and you click OK. If you double click it and you see that it's green, that means it's the right password. If not, it's gonna tell you, right? So there we go. Now we're gonna execute the Excel SQL. We can do it on two ways. I recommend using MySQL Workbench because you will see what happens, and it's pretty you'll see it's pretty easy to use, like no big deal. We're gonna start a new connection. We're gonna store the password in vault. It's the same MySQL password. It's test for us, but please guys, change it. Then we're gonna put on the connection name Excel. Don't worry about this name. Like, it's not the name we're gonna use in Navicat or anything, but I'm just choosing Excel to make it easy. It's like a session, alright? And now we're just gonna go and open an SQL script, alright? This SQL script is in the folder I gave you. In my case, I put it in the desktop. It's this one, right? You see all of this, right? Well, it's gonna create a database, as you can see. It's gonna create a database if it doesn't exist already, and it's gonna set your SQL mode in no auto value in 0. We'll talk about that later, but for now we're gonna put it like this. We're gonna execute it. Should be done by now. Alright, and it did everything we need. So now we're gonna refresh, and boom, you got your Excel database. Isn't that cool? Nice. Let's go. And now in Navicat, if we refresh it, you see that we got an Excel database with players and all the tables we need to manage our server. Isn't that cool? Alright. So now we got the database working. Now we're almost set. We're almost ready to go. So, as you can see in here, there's a folder, like a file called start.bat. Well, we're gonna see what that file does. It just makes things very easy for you guys. So now we're just